I know they won't know that we had a previous conversation slash kind of interview thingy that I was a little too out of it for. Um, but last time we were talking, I was telling you how we're going to be having these songs come out, be released, and all that. Well, now all 20 of those songs are out.
Welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I'm Old Man Raptor, and we got one hell of a guest today, and that is...
Hi, I'm Narshwhal.
Hi, Narshwhal. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on, especially after the Flat Girl strat over on the Virtual Gauntlet.
Oh, you had to bring that up, didn't you? You had to bring that up, didn't you?
I was just practicing my Robin Williams hot dog impression, all right?
Yeah, did you get hot dog? Okay, at least you didn't say it was a corn dog on a stick. That'd be a little weird. Yeah.
Did you know in Japan, corn dogs are called America dogs?
I'm not surprised. It would be the only thing to dip something
hey,
and fry it and
it's
call it
okay.
American.
It's okay, Lion. We call Japanese spaghetti, you know the rule of that one, right?
Well, before we get too far into that, Narshwhal, what are you most known for? How'd you get started? What pulled you into VR chat? Hard segue.
Yeah, great. Most known for?
Yes.
That's an interesting question. I don't know what I'm most known for, to be honest. I don't really ever look at myself at a sense of an outside perspective to like my own workings. But I guess when it comes to like a community wise, more known for like I guess DJing and yeah, DJing stuff. And music and all the other happy horse stuff.
Well, let me.
What was the other questions?
Well, let me revise that. What are you up to here in VR chat? How'd you get started? What pulled you into VR chat?
Lately I haven't been up to too much and whatnot. Just been working a bit. VR chat has lately, or more recently, been my late night endeavor whenever I just want to see some homies and hang out with some friends. What got me into VR chat was one day I was going through the YouTube, and then I saw a silly video of someone wearing a Master Chief like outfit, and then they pulled the helmet off, and it was a tiny Ugandan Knuckles, and I lost my shit. And then I was like, I need this game. And then I found it, and it was free. I was like, oh shit. And then I went all the way downhill from there.
Well,
what was the other questions?
What got you started with what you're doing with, for example, DJing and music here in VR chat?
What got me started? That's a good question as well. I'm not entirely sure what really got me started. Music has always been something I love to do. Like I've been making music for 16 years, and I was DJing before getting on VR chat. And then coming into VR chat, I didn't really know too much of like the separate communities, and it was like still very like narrow-minded, I guess, or like if you don't know, you don't know about the communities. A lot of things is word by mouth. A few years ago when it came to VR chat, like groups and like underground raves and DJ communities. But after I joined a friend, or they were dragging me to something. I forgot where it was exactly. I think it was a Dieselwork event, or it was I think it was Dieselworks. I don't remember. I was pretty drunk. But then I joined that, and it was the atmosphere in the room was just different. It was a bunch of like mature people, all just raving to someone DJing, got good visuals, good company, and whatnot. I was like, whoa, what is this? Because, I already came in as like someone who done music, DJing, and all that. It fucking blew my mind in that moment. And I just loved it ever since, and I just dived farther into that. Obviously, we get all busy here and there between work, and yeah.
Oh, well, may I ask what got you into DJing and music prior, since you've been up to it for 16 years, you said?
DJing came later. Music production came first. I was sitting at my grandma's computer. This is years ago, about 16 years ago at this point. and I saw this YouTube video. It was by someone called It's Hooky, and they made a silly video on how to make dubstep. Like they're literally pulling out kitchen equipment and whatnot, and it was hilarious. So like you got a mixer, because a literal fucking mixer, uh, and then I saw him like making music on like this software. I was like, what? It's like we could do that. And then I kind of just looked some stuff up and then came across FL Studio and started with FL Studio 7 on my grandma's computer that had only 256 megabytes of RAM. That was fun.
Oh,
Nothing would ever play properly, but at least I got to like press a few notes because like I love sounds and music and like all the other stuff. Like, because I would love to do sound design like as a genuine career and all that. You know, like let's just use an example like the Halo 3 recharge, not even Halo 3, just Halo the Shield recharge sound. That's an iconic sound that everyone will forever remember. Or the grunt birthday screaming whenever their heads get popped off whenever you got the funny skull on that makes the confetti pop out.
oh. So if that's how you
Um,
got started,
so,
what did you do with it
yeah, that's
after
just
you started learning and stuff, and how long did it take you to pick up?
uh music was an on and off thing throughout the years because there's a lot of interesting life scenarios I got put through when it came to like music and everything that was involved in it. Music was that thing for me that was more of a hobby at the time because obviously I was still, you know, only 13 to 14 to 15 years old and in those first few years like really getting into it. And life did the funny. I'm not sure how much detail I should go into when it comes to this stuff because it is a bit personal.
Mm.
But like the best way to put it, like mom was not home for months upon months upon months, and it was literally just me inside the house, like literally just me to myself the entire time at like 13 and 14. So I just made music on my computer all the time. We didn't have internet or anything like that, and funny enough, I also had like carry around a 4x3 squared monitor in my book bag with me at all times whenever I like go to places. So I'd be longboarding like across the whole town, with my book bag and laptop and monitor in my bag. I was like, you know, if I fall, I'm screwed. But luckily, I never fell. Um, and I don't know. I always made music on the go because life was slowly like making me homeless as well at a young age. And again,
Mm.
music was like one of those few things that kept me genuinely sane and like it was there for me, you know? I pressed that fucking C note 3,000 million times, adjusting every little knob just so I can learn it. And then I had Skyrim as well. So Skyrim and making music was my go-tos for time consuming. And Oblivion.
Oh, oh wow.
What was the other parts of that?
Uh, what did you do with it once you started learning it? Like after you learned, where did the music creation take you, and how long did it take for you to pick up?
Uh, it took me to quite a few places, to be honest. Music was an interesting topic. You can have a conversation with anyone when it comes to almost anyone. But when you could like meet other producers and other cool people, and upon like in the process of like just getting to know more people and music in general, especially as you get older, because then you get those genuine hobbies picked up by people, especially at a younger age. And I don't know, yeah, I don't know. It was more of a just getting to relate to other people in the sense when it came to online, because I was one of those people who were always perpetually online, like chat like areas and whatnot. And I met a bunch of other producers in the meantime. Well, like you know, just doing online stuff, and obviously when you shared interest, you know, you do more stuff with it to the point like I've made some collabs with people from across this world that I never even knew that they're actually like this person over here. I was like, oh shit, cool. But that song never got released. It happens way too often to count. But I think a lot of people can relate to that one. Um, how long did it take? It took me quite a bit. Yeah, it was a hit or miss because, like, again, I was young and I didn't really know how to read music, and I still don't know how to read music. So it's all just by ear lately,
Hmm.
or not lately, my whole life or so. And I've gotten to the point like I can play piano and then a bunch of other stuff like do the mixing and mastering, etc., etc. And it's gotten me to where I mean, people can commission me to make them a song. People can commission me to make them sound effects or sound design to their world, like how like on how people act. Or we can use Ariel Emerald's movie for an example of ulterior motives. I helped with the sound effects design stuff on that when it came to like the footsteps, the rustling on like the fabric, all the little background sounds. Honestly, fully art like that so was just fun as hell to do. And there's just so many little things you could do. And I think there's really no middle ground of it bringing me somewhere because it's still constantly bringing me somewhere. To the point where I've gotten to DJ with people in different states because they wanted me to come by and do that. Um, People bought my music because they wanted to use it here and there, and had people specifically commission me and became people's specific sound person. It's fun to do. Becomes a hassle a lot of times, but it is what it is.
Hmm. Okay. And did you in your time creating music, did you ever play your music for people in a show, or was VRChat that first time you did?
Actually, it has been played for a show before VRchat. Um, this one's gonna be a little personal again, but my best friend who I was homeless with, starved with, feasted with, etc. We made a lot of music together to the point he's on one of my tracks still, as Deuce Gambles. It was a hip hop track, but we made music a lot throughout the years, and sadly they recently passed away. That was not news I was not ready for because you get in like he literally. I remember one time. I remember one time specifically, I woke up in the middle. It was in the middle of like the day and whatnot. 'Cause, I was working nights, and I was like, they were passed the fuck out on my couch because they would just come through over or whatnot just to sleep. And I made a whole song right there. Rolled a blunt, rolled a fat blunt too. Hit it a little bit, walked over, blew the smoke in their face. I was like, "Get up!" I made a beat. I need you to rap. And then after that, we just made the song. And then even other times, I was just showing like an example moments. And he played these things in New York City on stage, like to crowds of people multiple times. And my music has been played across people's YouTube videos, etc. Just because they paid for it. Uh,
Hmm.
my music has been featured and been in a lot of places throughout time. Um, and I have also played it in VRChat, but VRChat is definitely not the first place my music has been played publicly to people and appreciated publicly at the same time.
Okay. So, what was it like seeing your music played across all those different mediums, may I ask, from when you would make it before to that moment?
It was pretty surreal, to be honest. It's one of those moments of like, wow, people actually like this.
Hmm.
I don't know, it's pretty interesting seeing proper feedback on the content that you create because again, it's your art. You don't know what your own self looks like until you see yourself in the mirror, but even then, your own perspective is still not the same as someone else's. It's interesting, especially when you hear a song that like you think sucks, or you made something that you think sucks, and everyone's like, "This is really good," and you're like, "What? What? What?" I don't know. It happens like that too often. Or even like the same concept, you don't know what your own voice actually sounds like until you hear it through a recording.
Hmm. Got a fair
So
point.
it was really nice. I don't know. Like I said, it was surreal. I don't know.
Okay.
It's very praising, I guess. I don't know if I can't think of the right word for that right now, but it's I don't know. It's very warming.
Hmm. So, may I ask, what were the early days in VRChat were like, and what did you do after you first learned about the music scene here at Dieselworks?
I became an alcoholic. No, I'm kidding.
My God. So what do you do? Well, I drink a lot, and I tell that,
well,
and
there's
I
this
go
thing called
on.
alcohol. So,
Yeah.
2020, the beginning of COVID, the lockdowns and all of that. Um, I moved off to a separate state because I got invited to a streamer house. We were partnered and everything. We were live 24/7. Even had 50,000 viewers at a time. That was anxiety ass inducing. And then that was red flags. I'm glad I left. They got sued, lost everything. Haha. Karma's a bitch. Uh, and then moved off to the state next to it. And while there, I kind of then got more into playing more into VRChat because my early days is the end of 2017, the beginning of 2018. Like that was my early days of VRChat. So I didn't really know much of the music scene until basically 2.5 years later. But within those 2 years and whatnot, because like was the music scene kind of part of it because I was a DJ for a lap dance club for a couple ones that were like old back in the day, like a one called Club Zodiac or one called Club Rapture, and I did DJing for them. But I didn't really know about the DJ scene. I only knew about just doing that, and a lot of the times they just want you to play a goddamn playlist. I was like, I can't do this shit. This ain't for me, chief. But there was a lot of alcohol in those moments, but also calm myself down. And then when I came across the music scene, like the DJ scene and whatnot, like, look, I'm gonna say is again, VRChat 2020. I was inside most of the time. I made a proper investment. I was able to relax for a year and a half. Um, so yeah, I definitely drink a lot because where I was, alcohol was pretty fucking cheap. Um, but I also made a bunch of music and I had a bunch of ideas that was in process and in progress to the ones that are even currently going on now. Because I even started a VR chat. Well, not as specifically VR chat. Let me rephrase that. Created a music collective, music label, that is currently revolving around the virtual people. The first release has been all VR chat beans. And everything's been slowly just leading to these moments of like plans finally being put forth and forward because like all this fucking around finally got done with, which with again 2020 and COVID and all that.
So what started the music label, and what changed from you just fucking around into going through with plans and ideas?
What was the first question?
What
Or first part of
started
that? I'm sorry.
what started the music labels, and what changed between you messing around and then things happening or you following through with ideas?
So I've worked with quite a few interesting characters throughout the music industry when it comes to label heads. Because right now I'm currently community manager for Future Collective, which is main label, like over the many sub labels that are under it. While I work with Michael. Michael's a fucking wonderful human being. Holy shit. Anyone who knows Michael from Future Collective knows that they're a good being. I've been able to work with Quality Good Records with UZ Ball Chat Music. I've been able to work with the Electrostepnetwork, with Zach and whatnot. It's another label head. And these beans have been around for a while. And there's a few other labels in between that I can't fully remember, like our even Night Owl Collective that we've helped with at times. And it all just been a learning experience watching all these people do these things, because it's been basically knowing the right people. I've noticed that's what it really comes down to. And I always knew the right people, but I never knew the right things for the right people. But I know the right people who know the right things to show the right people who want these certain things. So I was like, all right, let's just start the fucking label then. And it was an idea that sat for a bit because once again, it was just me putting forth the effort out of like 5 to 6 separate people. And I had my own song ready and everything, but no one else was ready. I was like, all right, fuck it. So I just pushed it off to the side for something years. And then finally made it into reality basically this year. Or, well, more of starting of last year. Somewhere in May. May or June was like the first song of being released. And we did release every single Monday. Like the first week of every Monday of each week was a new song being released. And we went through 20 different artists. The original idea was for 50 artists, but I basically had to almost like hunt down. I basically had to Van Helsing people just to fucking get some tracks submitted. But you know, again, it was all worth it because I get it. Life happens, you know. We all go through our own shit here and there. But yeah, I don't know. It was where it led to. Uh, well, what was the other half of that question? I'm sorry.
What
I have terrible ADHD.
what started or created the label? Like what events led to it, and then what changed between you messing around and then
Okay.
things coming to fruition?
So like yeah, so the label's going good right now. Concinnity Collective. Like I said, what started was the whole entire me just doing that, just knowing the right people. I was like, fuck it, I want to do my own thing, you know, to give that a home to people who want to make any genre, you know, a home to people that don't really get the time to know the right people, and I could just give that handshake in between, and then bap bap boop. Now they could do more with their music. It's always been dead serious about that, which has been a thing that has kind of changed throughout the years, from leading to fucking around to being more serious. Because I've always been serious about my music throughout throughout the 16 years. I love music. Music is my life. It's my soul. It's my blood. It's my heartbeat. Um, and fuck, I hate losing tracks of thoughts.
It's okay. Well,
One moment.
okay.
So, okay, I remember where I was going. And things started to get a little bit more serious though when I got offered certain positions for these labels, because the working with the labels is more of a recent thing. And I was like, oh heck, so I was able to get to see more of the inside out of how things work. And then I saw that, you know, there is a lot of like you make a lot of people happy by being able to give love to their work, because I mean, a sad concept that a lot of people do within humans. Let's say I have a glass of water. I'm the one trying to sell my glass of water. I'm only vouching for my sip. No one's going to want to take that sip. But if you start vouching for my cup of water, saying that this water is really good, people are now more interested into wanting to take that sip. It's fucking stupid, but I get it at the same time. And then, yeah, I've been able to, again, create that path, the road for a lot of people, or at least hopefully give those first time scenarios. Or even when I used to run my own club in VRchat, I've had so many scenarios. Like, you gave me my first ever set, and now here they are playing for some. I'm not trying to give status on the clubs, but let's say this, you know, they're playing for the popular, you know, the most popular clubs, et cetera, or even going forth into real life, traveling to DJ now because of this shit like that. And I love it. I love being able to hand people that ladder to climb. Just don't forget about me and bring me back some nuggies and a sweet tea with no ice.
Don't forget the fries. Come on, you want some good fries with that. You just don't, you know.
Now I want nuggies.
Just nuggies? Okay.
Okay.
Just nuggets.
So you mentioned
Yeah,
you ran your own club. So what was that like at the time? And what started that? And do you still run it?
No, I do not run it. It started a while ago. I don't remember how long ago, but it started a bit ago. What's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I also just got a silly DM. Got distracted. Fuck, could you repeat the question? Oh, you know, I remember what it was. Yeah, it's dead. It's been dead for a while. What started it was, this is again back in like 2020, 2021. There really wasn't too many VR chat clubs going on. Um, the ones I was a part of were interesting because they really went out of the way to like find new DJs, etc., etc. Well, my plan was to go out of my way just to host long ass events so anyone could basically play instead of being, you know, to just four people. Because I would host like 11 to 13-hour events at a time, just to myself. Well, not to myself, but like I was the only one not doing staff stuff and all that, while switching DJs, all of that, etc., hosting, coming up to people, welcoming them, etc. And it was pretty fun, but a lot of it got kind of tiring mentally when you're the only one doing it. But there's a lot of happy people because we did a thing called Funk You Up. We did a thing called fuck, Chill Night, or is this like, we were trying to like step more towards different areas and takes of music, where instead of always going hard, we'd have a chill night, or instead of like again always going hard, we would have disco funky, jet set radio future night, which is, I love that one. I'm gonna have to bring those back soon. uh but that was going to be under a different club with the different beans. And yeah, but so I had a map commissioned though, and I paid a decent amount of money for this map. And I didn't get really much of anything for over 2 years. Well, they already like plopped out 3 fucking maps. I'm like, all right, at this point, I'm just not. I'm done with you, and kind of just stopped it from there. And that was sadly like the falling point of my club, because I didn't have a home to give. Then I started learning world stuff as well, and I was slowly coming up with something to give it a home. And then in the process of uploading the world that like look on VRchat, my computer froze. And then the Unity seed defaulted itself back to 4 kilobytes, and I lost everything. I was like, I'm not doing this shit. I had an extreme hiatus moment because it just aggravated the shit out of me. Because I put like a month to 2 months worth of work into that just for it to disappear in a seconds of time.
Hmm. Sorry that happened to you.
Ouch. Ouch.
It
That's
happens.
all I can say is ouch.
I spent like $1,000 on that map too.
Oh, damn. Well, from the early days through doing stuff with labels, what were some of your favorite memories or events that you've taken part in, and why have they stuck with you?
Favorite? A lot of them are pretty faded, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was a lot of alcohol ago. Uh, Favorite moments. I mean, I have IRL favorite moments and VR chat favorite moments. But I think some of the favorite VR chat moments was like, I think has a lot of those firsthand experiences. And I'm not even just gonna use like the music scene itself as like one of those firsthand experiences, but like what VR chat itself has to offer. I remember I don't know if I can even say this for your videos. But the first time I got VR, I was like on a quarter of shrooms, and I looked in front of the mirror, and I understood why everyone else does it in that moment. And it was like, because like you're seeing yourself through a different perspective, through a body that is not yours, that you'll never have. So it's almost like getting a new toy kind of thing whenever you get a new avatar. And I understand why people like seeing them in the mirror, because I can look down and see the same foot that I've been seeing for 28 years. I can look down right now and see the same foot that I've been seeing for something years, because I still use the same fucking avatar. But
Oh,
like it's a body you don't know, and it's interesting. Uh, some other favorite memories. Honestly, I have one. I remember when I joined into Muzzfest the first time, seeing that. And it was just a surreal experience. We were just seeing all these people, seeing some artists that I've been listening to for years DJing. I'm like, holy shit! I was like, what the fuck? I just fucking mind explosions all in those moments. It was lovely. Loved it. And I also was on some acid in that moment. That was a great moment. But that was like a 3-day festival. I only did it for a 1-day thing. Um, some other great memories I think I can have was when I got to meet DJ Sharpnel, DJ Shrapnel is someone I've been listening to for 16 to 17 years of my life because I fucking love speedcore and breakcore and all that, and Gabber, and because of Flash Revolution, which was a rhythm game, uh, that fucking like horizoned my entire take of like genres and like what all those genres were, and I came across DJ Sharpman on that. All of their music was just lovely. And then one day I got put on a lineup with him, and I fangirled. I'm not gonna, I fangirled like hell. And then they even, because I specifically played an old song of theirs that's like 14 years old, and then this motherfucker threw the same song into their set. I was like, oh! I screamed a little. It was lovely.
Oh, what was it like playing with the same person you enjoyed and idolized for so long?
Again, it was pretty surreal. It was a moment that I was not expecting, but it really goes to show you how many doors VRChat opens when it comes to shortening the distance between communicating with other people who are like-minded, people you've met, people you look up to. The list goes on. Come to find out, I didn't even know I had fucking DJ Sharp. DJ Sharpnel was one of my first 80 friends on VRChat, and I didn't even realize that until I, got VRCX. And I looked through the list, and I was like, what? I'm like, what the fuck did I add them? Which, again, goes to show you never know who you meet.
Oh, wow. That's pretty wild.
It's pretty funny, to be honest. I had another scenario like that with another bean. They make really good fucking techno. Luca Lash. It was a pop-up event that was going on. I think it was Christmas Eve. Someone was saying something really depressing. It was making other people around feel awkward, but no one was like going to want to say anything because they didn't really know what to say. And I forgot what I said. But then from across the room was like, that's a really good way of putting things. And then they added me. I was like, why does that name look so goddamn familiar? And then just hang out with them again, drink a little bit, I showed them the funny tanks map. That's like the Udon world tanks. I showed them other worlds, and we were just hanging out. It happened like repetitively throughout just groups of friends and homie and whatnot. They would just come through. And then I finally, looked them up, and I was like, holy shit, make some good music.
Oh.
Good bean. No, Luca's a good fucking person. Like, genuinely a good bean. They deserve more love on their music.
Oh. All right. So, what have been some of what was the moment in your, you making music, playing shows, real life or VR chat, where you making music felt real or felt like it was going somewhere you weren't expecting?
Oh, well, the last time I saw you here, Novid, was October.
Yeah, absolutely. That ghost ship was definitely something, to say the least. But we're here now.
Here to tell you something amazing. Right now, PJKT application is open until May 12th. So if you go right down the description, which will give you to the Discord, discord.gg/PJKT, we'll have all the information you need to sign up for your community, your creators. We're open to communities, creators, and people building things, and content creators as well. Everything is right down in the Discord, right for you. What else do we have here? What is PJKT, Novid?
Well, PJKT is a virtual convention here in VRChat that holds many different types of events within Project Fest, from film showcases with Project Lens, from developer talks with Project Inc., as well as many live performances and many different events held by the community through our events applications forums as well. It'll also be down in that Discord, discord.gg/PJKT. So, of course, make sure to go check it out.
Most definitely. And PJKT this year is going to be June 27th through July 7th. So mark it down in your calendars. We'd love to see you there. See you this summer, folks.
To be honest, that was within the first few years of my life when I was already being introduced to so many different people in the music scene. Because, like, I've got to meet, like, some of my favorite drum and bass producers, like, people who made, like, some of my most favorite songs, a better way to put it, like, Colossus, Under the Weather, which is a really great drum and bass song, Liquid D&B on Liquid City. And I got to meet them one day, and then friend them on Facebook, and then talk to them, and then I got to show another friend introduced me to, who also does music that I've known for now, like, 18 years of my life, a bit. And they also make really good music, and now they're being on their record label. It's just, it's a lot of it started with all these, crossing chain ladder moments at a
Mm.
very young age when it came to knowing all the right people. Because again, I was never afraid to just make conversation. I didn't give a fuck who you are or what your status is. A status only just makes things multiplied. Let's
Mm.
say, I mean, if I like use Taylor Swift for an example, there's a fucking page dedicated to what she likes, but we won't get that. Again, it's multiplied based on status when it's all the same shit at the end of the day. And fuck, where's I going with this? Fuck.
You're mentioning people
Well,
that
yeah,
you've
yeah,
met
it's,
earlier on.
Yeah, and it's again, like I said, it's always felt real since again from day one. Since I had people willingly and wanting to support me, saying that, oh yeah, you actually make good stuff, and they just went from there. Even though hip hop has always been a part of my life, because it always gets influenced in every fucking thing I make. That's because it's what I grew up with in New York City, or not New York City, my bad, New York, and slightly a bit of New York City.
Hmm. So, Mask, what genre did you start with, and how did it change over time, in terms of like producing?
What genre did I start with? That's a good question. Ah. Well, honestly, as every producer starting out, they always want to make the most hardest shit ever, or like their most favorite thing. Obviously, I couldn't fucking do that, so I started with like house music, 4/4. Kept the beat simple so I can focus more on like the melodic structure, the acousmatics, the plunderphonics, and the melodic structures, and then some. And a lot of it was between house music and drum and bass. A lot of more liquid drum and bass than anything, because liquid was something that I was really listening to when I was getting really, really getting into it. And liquid D&Bs is always, I love it, especially when you throw a good saxophone there. I'm a sucker for it.
Hmm. Now, did that evolve over time, or did you stick with the same genres as you grew
I mean,
older?
I've made everything at this point, besides country. Not fucking making country.
And why not?
I'm just. That's what I was gonna ask. Why not?
You know what happens when you play country music backwards?
I'm waiting. I'm curious.
Get your dog back, you get your house back, you get your wife back, you get sobriety back.
Oh God. Oh
It's all the same
boy.
shit. The only country that's
Oh.
good is Johnny Cash, and that's not even country, it's outlaw country.
Oh,
Oh.
boy.
And Whiskey Lullaby. That's also a really good song.
Okay. So,
What is your favorite? What is your favorite song that you've written that you enjoy so
Favorite
much?
song that I've written? Well, it's changed throughout the years between production level to between sentimental to between just it sounding good to me. So I would have to say it's between a few. One of them would obviously be of my best friend, Deuce Gambles. We called it Dirtiest Brew. Um, Another one that I think would be another favorite is one that never got released, and it was nice. It was a nice progressive like house song. It was I don't know. It was I'm mumbling my words there.
Mm.
I don't know. It was chill. It was nice. And I think another one was another rap scenario that still is in production with again my friend who passed away. Because I was like, all right, I need simple lyrics, at least like probably 8 lines, no cursing, make it powerful. We're gonna make it to just like this house song. And bip pop boop, we did it. They drove over to my friend's ghetto ass booth that has egg cartons, up on the wall. And yeah, we recorded.
oh.
And yeah, it was fun. I loved those moments. It was genuine.
Hmm. So
It wasn't even because they were just good sounding songs, just because of the memories, the adventure, the time that we were, all the stuff that we were doing.
Oh. So, what are some of the inspirations from your music, and how much is derived from outside sources and how much is sentimental, and what makes you choose those to release?
So, I mean, so like I had mentioned a bit ago, music was something that I did a lot because that's all I had in front of me and kept me sane. One moment. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, music kept me sane a lot, and hmm. Oh, can you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry.
It's okay. What have been some of your inspirations for the music you write, and what made you choose to release them when you did? How much is outside source, and how much is sentimental inspiration?
So a lot of moments of me making music was more of emotional outlets
Mm.
for myself and for myself only. To be honest, I probably have more songs within my hard drives than what should ever be common. There's probably like a good 300-400 songs I've worked on, just fucked around with, just be, and then I never did anything else with it because it was my emotional outlet. Um, fuck, I keep forgetting like parts of your question. I hate that.
It's okay. Let's start with I won't layer them.
No, no, I remember. I'm remembering it. So like the inspirational parts behind it, a lot of it at beginning was myself.
Hmm.
Because I just wanted to make music. I wanted to make things that I wanted to make without referencing other people's music. I didn't want to hear, oh, this sounds like this. I want to be, oh, well, this sounds unique. And then get to a point, oh, this sounds like you, when people have like their own unique sounds, their own unique content that they create, or unique lines, quotes, etc. And as time went by, obviously, you get some inspirations. Sharpenal, for an example, I've looked up for them when it comes to like speedcore and their sound production. Um, but it's usually been more of like the sound engineers who have been more of my inspiration. Like I'll use Look Mom No Computer. They make really good shit, and they basically almost solder it all together by hand. And they're like, "Yeah, I made this thing out of this thing, and now I made this song with this thing." And I'm like, "That's fucking cool." Um, I do. I mean, obviously, I love rock and metal as well, like Pink Floyd, the Mars Volta, System of a Down. They've been inspirations behind my music as well when it comes to like the moods that is put set forth. There's been some other people who have been like my inspirations, but I don't say their names anymore because, as the saying goes, don't meet your heroes.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's been a lot of back and forth moments where I just have to push myself to do it and inspire my own self. But like, our homie Azariah has been another good push and motivator or inspiration when it comes to just making music because like their passion for it and like they could bust a fucking track out quick and it's just fucking blows my mind and it's always good as shit. And I don't know, I've always enjoyed that. But yeah, like I said, it was always mainly a more of my self inspiration because I had something to do that was in front of me. Because when you're locked out from having the internet, what inspiration are you really gonna go get? You're gonna go listen to the birds.
Hmm.
My Android 7, no, was it Android 16 or was it Android 18? I don't know. Dragon Ball Z Abridged, it was the one who was like birds.
Oh. So as you
Yeah, I
interact
don't know.
with the internet differently, either through places like Facebook and the internet earlier on, and then through Facebook and labels, have your interactions with your own music changed as you met different parts of the music industry or the internet?
When you say your music, as in like the music I make, or
Yes,
just the
the
music I
music you
listen
make.
to and the music I've. Okay. Um. Yes and no when it comes to the motivation because sometimes it could be very unmotivating based
Mm.
on how some people are when it comes to their attitudes or their takes on music or their takes on these things.
Mm.
But it has been more of a push to make more and do better because let's say, or not even let's say, like every 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks, depending on schedules. Late Night Tea, Electrostepnetwork, and Concinnity Collective, my label, and the third one. We do this feedback stream. Instead of like saying, "Oh, this kick could be louder" or something like that, we actually get into like the philosophical areas of their music production, what this represents. Like, say we had this 15-year-old kid who submitted something, amazing track, but it was a little bit of everywhere in a sense of like freeform jazz. I asked the question, do you know what freeform jazz is? They have no idea. The kids nowadays are making electronic freeform jazz, and it blows my fucking mind that they even have no idea of the history of the music that style that they're already making. And so we give them a whole rundown to hopefully give them a new perspective, view, vision, motivation, idea, philosophy on their song, and or just their production level and value and what they like want to make. And it's not even just art songs we do. We even do like covers, art pieces, drawings, quotes, poems, etc., etc. Anything that is art. And it has again been more of a push throughout the time of interacting with other people to prove that I can do this shit. Like, say, I'll use my pops as an example. That motherfucker gave the utmost zero amount of support throughout my life and called everything a pipe dream because he always was a blue collar worker and thinks that's the only way to make money, when in reality, he's cutting his hands each day to bust his ass when I make the same he does. Not busting my ass. Yeah. It's always been just, always want to prove people wrong, I guess. Best way to put it.
Okay.
So I keep trying to do more, but in a good way that helps others, not just myself.
So I remember before you were talking about the starts of the collective you run way back when you and I were talking a while ago. How has that ride been? And has it, what was it? Yeah, how was that? What kinds of things have you done with it?
So the collective more exploded because last time. Oh, sorry, I got distracted as fuck there. So I know they won't know that we had a previous conversation / kind of interview thingy that I was a little too out of it for. But last time we were talking, I was telling you how we're going to be having these songs come out, be released, and all that. Well, now all 20 of those songs are out and already been out. And so the collective, like I said, it kind of was an idea that started between 2017 and 2019. It was an idea. We got the concept out there. There's only very few people on it because I only wanted to be a collective of just few artists that we release our own songs to this thing and slowly push it. Now it was like, like almost like Noisy. It's a 3-person group making, under one, name. But that slowly branched into something else because, again, I was the only one pushing stuff. And I was like, all right, fuck this. I put it on the back burner for a very while. And then one day I was like, you know what? Well, literally while I was at work, I was like, all right, I want to do this now. So then I started sending, I sent out 50 different messages to a bunch of different people and whatnot that I know on VRchat. Because I want to start with VRchat beans first because there's so much talent that needs to get showcased, shown, recognized properly. And, yeah, I decided to all right, go, and then made a Discord, made everything, and yeah, and kind of just went to a proper place from there. To be honest, it's gotten the love that it needs, deserves, and soon we're gonna be doing another one as well. The submissions opening soon, or even with the Beast from the Udon VR group. We even got put on a digital vinyl that's with alongside 5 other digital vinyls that I could remember correctly at the moment, and it's been fun. It's been a lot of stepping forward, which has been nice since the start to now. It still sucks because it still feels like I'm kind of doing everything, and it's getting a little heavy on the mental because of also dealing with all the life shit. But there's people now offering help, and we just got a new bean, Jake Star, who's going to be helping as well. And I appreciate him for definitely doing it. Turles has been helping, And then we even got a couple of outside staff as well, because right now we're actually in progress of getting how do I word this? We're gonna be going forth with a 3-day festival in upstate New York, because it's gonna be at a place called Neversink Campground, and they've been there for a bit. It was this campground was made when basically Woodstock was happening, like the original Woodstock. So people could have a place to camp. And right now they're going through the process of getting us the legal, documents, all the other Happy Horse stuff, so we can do this. And yeah, that's been fun. And then the other homie Monk, he's in Canada, and he is a very like they do stage building, like stage rigging and all that.
Mm.
And they're like one of like the number one people over there, and they're also been helping because maybe we, one of those network scenarios, maybe we can to be a part of those festivals and in the near future, and have Concinnity collective, DJs up on their stage playing to 10,000 people or more. I would love to just give people those opportunities and just watch them soar and fly.
Wow. Now, has the ride and stuff you've been doing since you and I, that last conversation we had, was it what you expected it to be initially? After everything's released, you're
Fuck
doing
no.
these things? No?
Like I said, I had to hunt down these motherfuckers just for get them to submit to something that they already said yes to a year prior. Cheeky bastards. Yeah, so like I reached out a year and something months prior. Like, I think it was a year and 1 month prior. It's like, hey, I want to do this during this time. We're gonna do it this. You got over a year to make a song. Oh, my voice is cracked. So within that year, like I said, only at least like 8 people were ready.
Hmm.
That is very, again, unmotivating when you get something like that, because it feels like you're the only person passionate for your project now. Because everyone was like hyped, they were with it, they even asked questions about it. Because I was when I was at work, I was literally sitting out like bricks to people, talking to them while I was at work, walking down the road, doing other stuff. This was when I was in a different state, not doing what I'm doing now. And yeah, it got very unmotivating based on how a lot of people were as well when it came to how they reacted towards the label. There is a lot of doubt when it came to like how I was trying to do things legally as well, because I want to make sure people's songs are protected. I'm not just going to upload you say, yeah, you're signed, with no actual signature towards anything, no contract or nothing, and then upload a song to the internet where anyone can steal your shit, including even AI nowadays can just steal your shit. And so again, I put it into a process where it's protected. It's the equivalent of you brought your kid to, summer camp. Now you're going to leave them there for the summer. Still your fucking kid. They're now just being watched by other people for that time. Time of the agreement. And time of the agreement. Attitudes that I got from it as well, from like people that I thought who were going to be like in proper support, just to say, oh, it's like stroking an ego or some shit like that. I'm like, what? Like, I'm trying to do this for you, and you think it's stroking my ego? What the fuck? Again, it was very questionable. It was a lot of eyes opening moments, and I'm glad I had those eyes opening moments, because it's good to get the bad energy away first. I'm glad that those bad energy people showed themselves at the beginning, so I know where to walk to for the next step. I'm not gonna keep stepping on the same goddamn Lego piece that's on the floor. I'm either gonna pick it up or walk around it.
Okay.
And yeah, there has also been a lot of motivating things as well, because a lot of people have been very happy. Like, I was not expecting the plays that it did get. I was not expecting becoming partnered with the electrostepnetwork. I was not expecting being invited to the new influence planner. can't speak much of that yet. Um, there's quite a few things that I was not expecting when it came to just talking, getting to know people, representing, being a label, collective, and all this other stuff. Like, it's been more nice than the negative at the end of the day when it comes to just going through everything. It's a home for people to put their music, and hopefully it can keep going to somewhere where it could maybe even reach like again, or we could have festivals, our own festivals with vendors and everything.
Hmm. Okay. So when you were running things, what were you expecting running the collective would be like? And did you have any mentors within the people you mentioned, like for example, Michael or the other labels that you were working with before? Was it what you thought it was?
1 second.
Hmm.
Sorry, something really loud. You might have to repeat that. I apologize.
Oh, it's okay. So when starting the collective that you're running now, what were you expecting to run it would be like? And did you have any mentors running it over the last year or so?
Um, what I expected, it kind of went how as I thought it was going to. Last minute scenarios, but there is also, but I mean, how do I explain this? I don't really expect anything because expectations leads to false hope.
Mm.
So I just go with the flow of whatever being put forth. But the initial plan that I had and thought didn't go exactly as I hoped it for when it came to how individuals were going to be.
Mm.
Um, but again, it's been like a half-half thing. Like the things that I thought were going to be did, and the things that I weren't ever even thought of happening happened as well. Both good and bad. More good than anything, to be honest. And I don't know. I've met some really great people, people who want to be a part of these things, people who are so happy, to be on these things. So, if I can give people that home and place to feel welcome, then fuck it. I'll do my sacrifices that I need to be, or need to do, my bad. Um, regardless of mentors, like I said, so me joining or being staff for these other labels showed me things that I need to do. So it hasn't really been a mentorship, but more of a watch and learn. I don't really go to anyone for questions besides as of like recently within the past year and a half between Michael from Future Collective and Zach from Electrostepnetwork, because Zach has again they're my label partner, and they have been helping me a lot when it comes to getting stuff set up, or getting distributing set up, or getting certain link things, because like say how when a song gets released they have like their base own link tree, just
Mm.
that one specific song. You actually have to pay for that. That's the thing, you have to pay for it every single
Really?
time. Yep, and he has helped me out with that. Again, Zach is a VIP in that, like he is an MVP, my bad. Now he's also a VIP too. He's a good dude. He's helped a lot. But just really hasn't been really too much of a mentorship. Again, Michael has helped here and there. Like when I'm dealing with like scenarios or like, hey, have you ever experienced this? And they're like, no, not really. I'm like, well, shit. I guess it's just something new for me to figure out. And yeah, go from there.
Okay. Now, has your perspective on your project changed since you've been running a year?
Uh, See, that it can be applied to a little bit of everything I do.
Mm.
Because like between it's like let's say VRChat itself has opened a horizon of learning new things between like particle systems, shaders, avatar work, textures, music, sound design for worlds, just creating atmosphere. Um, it definitely has changed a lot throughout the year when it comes to just viewing my own projects and going back to it at times, because you get a new perspective and a new learning process. So each time you kind of go back to the thingies, it's a little easier to mold out your ideas, because like when you're starting out something new but you know how to use it, you got way too many ideas. And to me, sadly, I get locked up with those ideas, and then I just don't know what to do. So when you can finally like line out those ideas and plan it accordingly, you kind of get it going. Like again, Concinnity has been one of those things. Has been a self test for myself, uh, to keep something going instead of letting it fucking die as normal. Even if I'm the only one doing it, for fucking once, I'm just gonna keep pushing for it. Keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward, and keep pushing forward. Yeah, I
Mm.
mean, it has even gotten to like where I have stepped out of VRChat, and like we are now going to be stepping outside of VRChat producers only, because
Wow.
that was the original concept. Find VRC producers only, but I was like, there's too much more talent out there in this world that needs the love.
Oh, wow.
I think everyone deserves the love.
Cool. So how do you stay motivated with all this you're trying to do, may I ask?
I don't know. That's a good question. I could ask you the same thing. How do you stay motivated between doing these videos every single week?
My best answer is it's all I think about. To be honest, I wake up and just think VR chat podcasts. How can I network people better? What
That's
else
not
am I?
motivation, though.
Well,
What's
it is to me.
motivating you to do it?
Well, I'm constantly self-motivating, wanting to ask questions and see what else is there to learn.
Okay. See, I mean, then we're following the same suit. It's because I kind of already answered that question a few times when
Mm.
it comes to giving people the home that they deserve to have their music on, a place that will be appreciated. You know,
Mm.
just to give people what they deserve, in a sense. I really don't give a shit if they forget about me at the end of the day. It happens too often. And again, if I can give those people the home to make their music feel wanted, fuck it, I'll do it.
Mm. Okay.
And
So
that's
I
always been my motive.
Cool.
Yeah, that has usually been my motivation, to give other people the love that they deserve for their work.
Mm. So I have another question for you as well. This is probably me asking this out of sheer ignorance, not knowing. What would be the difference between someone releasing music on their own versus releasing under a label?
Promotion, networking. As you already even previously said, you're thinking about networking. As a single producer, you don't have. As a single producer, you have to worry about that. When you submit it to a label, you now then don't have to worry about that because that's their worry.
Ah.
Promotion, labeling, LLC, ISRC, distributing, monetizing.
Mm.
There's a whole entire, there's even like legal standards that come into play when it comes to releasing on your own to under a label. Because let's say you release to, let's say, Atlantic Records. At the end of the day, that's not your song anymore. Like that is far from your song. Like I understand where people don't like the contract thing, but again, I go out of my way to make sure that is your song. You forever get credit, not Atlantic Records stealing it, taking it for their own, and saying "fuck you." Because especially when they take 80% of the cut, you know, and you only get 20%. This is why you see old ass per like artists and whatnot still trying to like find shows to play for because their record companies that they, you know, were under fucked them over throughout the years and took most of their money that they actually earned them. That's how it sadly goes. And it was a good life lesson that my friend taught me when I was like, I think 12. One of my favorite fucking guitarists too. And he's taught me, he's like, start your own label. Because he made his own label to release his own music. And yeah, I was like, that's a fucking smart idea. And like stuck with that idea for years. And finally came Concinnity Collective.
Oh, wow.
It took a while to find a good name too.
Where'd the name come from?
So it was actually a bunch of us were brainstorming ideas. Funny enough, I was actually gonna call it VRC, Virtual Reality Collective. But then we're like, no, we can't do that. Yeah, we can't do that. That's too corny. And then came a few other ideas, and then someone put out Concinnity. And I was like, huh. Then if you look up the definition of Concinnity, it's actually very interesting if you do look it up quickly. I'll even look it up I'll just read it to you.
Okay.
Hopefully I spelled that right. Cool, I did. So Concinnity, the skillful and harmonious arrangement or fitting together of the different parts of something.
Oh wow.
Concinnity, that's what we are.
Wow, that's like it's a very, very
It,
apt
it
name.
fit. It fit too fucking well. I was like, damn, that's good. And then homie, not even like an hour later, came out with some cover logo art. I was like, this looks good as shit. What didn't came that group logo name thingy? Concinnity.
Oh. Okay. So now with Concinnity, and you said you want to give the artists their own credit. How does that work legally? Do you just promote for them and they own it? What is it? How is that different from what you would get in other contract?
I'm not sure how far I should or could explain into this, but we are, LLC'd. That means, so how do I word this? If someone tries to steal the song, there is a legal team ready to go after you. Instead of a scenarios where someone across the seas downloaded your song from YouTube and then upload it as their own. You can't do shit. Have fun fighting that. It won't work. You need copyright stuff. You need LLC. You need the ISRCs and all that. You need that number to say that this is your track, which then gives you that proper ownership. There's also a few things within that, like say it keeps me safe as well, because between 20 artists, if that one of those 20 artists or multiple of the 20 artists use a sample that does get copyright striked, I'm not dealing with that legally, because again, this is being monetized. When money is being earned, you are now stepping into a legal realm of taxes, etc., etc., payouts. You need to have that all properly ordained so you could be good. So yeah, can you repeat the question one more time?
How would it work for you allowing the artist to keep credit within the contracts and stuff like that? How does that work? That question's
So
out of
I
ignorance.
changed nothing of their song. No, it's not ignorance. It's no such thing as a stupid question. Stupid answers. Stupid answers leads to wrong information. So fuck, I kind of already forgot the question. I hate my life.
It's okay. How does it work for you allowing the artist to keep credit of their own works with you versus other places? Hello, I'm actually here to interrupt the episode you're watching really quick to ask you a favor. Please come join us at any of the other locations we have. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify, both of which we post our episodes and are very up to date on both. We have Discord where you go to hang out all the time, where you're gaming and shooting the breeze over with many people over that way. Feel free to come join us. I invite you. If you wish to support us, we have a Patreon where we post a bunch of random bits, bobs, and extra podcast every once in a while for you to go enjoy. Also, if you wish to support us while in VRChat, we're now part of the creator economy. So please come join if you wish to support us there. It's there for you to choose if you so wish. And thank you very much. And a special thanks to some of the people who have signed up on our Patreon, which are as follows. And I have written down so I'll remember. And that's a tough thing. Forbidden Zero, Niche, Aliquum, Future Oracle, Lesser Capybara, and Frozen. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
So as I was mentioning earlier, in regards of like leaving your kid at summer camp, still your kid. It's your kid that you birthed. That's your kid that you named. That's your kid that's legally, rightfully yours. No matter what, you're just right now being legally watched by the summer camp. So credit still gets full on forth. Your name, obviously. I go out of my way. What socials do you want promoted? Is there anything you specifically want said? Is there anything you would like to promote? I go out of my way, so everyone knows that it's their song. No one for the longest time, no one even knew that it was me behind Concinnity Collective and running it, because I really went out of my way to push the artist and the artist only. I'm going to be calling out so many fucking label heads for this, but label heads who constantly upload their own music, how to like label heads that have more of their songs than anyone else's song on their label is a I don't like that. I'm sorry. That's pretty fucking selfish in my opinion.
Mm.
Upload like you got a label that has the viewing. I understand you want more eyes on your stuff constantly, but like there's so much more talent out there. There's room for people who want that spot that you decided to take because it's yours. Like I get it, it's yours to do whatever the fuck you want with, but stop being selfish. You know, like
Mm.
I just never. I don't know. I hate when label heads do that shit. It's annoying. I've seen it more times than one, and I want to give people that that room to have that credit, their love, get their a heart that they deserve. Because Concinnity is not just me, as the definition says. Skillful and harmonious arrangements are fitting together of different pieces to make something.
Hmm. So when musicians are signing for a label, is there any? Uh, how is that process? Sorry, let me phrase this question. Now I'm drawing blanks. When artists go sign for labels, is there anything that most people don't know about in terms of what you've learned by doing what you're doing? There we go. That's what I want.
There's a few things, like on the back end of things that just the producers probably won't know of is timing. Labels time out everything. And I mean, they time out everything, every release proper. So if you as a producer wants to submit something to a label and then you're going to want to go upload a song again, try to work with that label's date instead of saying, "Oh, well, I got a song being pushed here. Can we push that song back?" Now, like, would it be possible, because if you keep pushing back the label song, there might be times you're waiting 3 fucking months just to get your song out there now because you decided to upload your own shit out all of a sudden because you didn't want songs to collide before being released on timing. Because labels, especially Michael, knows like some of the best dates. Like he has written entire PDFs and like documents on like how to like go about this shit. And again, timing is everything. Timing also promotion too. Knowing when to promote is also a big thing. If you're in the US and if you're uploading your song at 3 a.m., good luck.
Mask, would you mind
Honestly,
elaborating?
same
Why
goes
good
for
luck?
any content. Because I mean, all right, so I'll use TikTok as an example. I used to be a social media manager as well. Still am here and there if anyone ever picks me up for so. But so TikTok, I took a friend's TikTok. She didn't want TikTok because she fucking hated it. Like, let me just run your account for you. All right, she was already doing a lot. She's already doing a bit. She's doing a lot now. Still, I'm proud of her. Uh, and best way to put it, knowing the timing and understanding the algorithm was the best thing ever. Knowing how to comment, when to comment is also the best thing ever. I'm not going to give all the little trade secrets, but again, timing was everything. If I uploaded my TikTok video from the US and say EST at 11 p.m. on a fucking Wednesday, it's going to die. It's not going to get as many views as a video on Monday at 7:30 a.m. You got to work with everyone's shifts, times of the day, what they're doing, etc. You have to understand how society moves in those moments when it comes to how much you stare at their phones as well. There's a lot of things that go into it. But again, timing. If you don't have timing, right, you're fucked. Let's say, let me even use you for an example. If you upload a video at 3 a.m. and post it on Twitter and Blue Sky, I guarantee you your interaction or engagement is not going to be as high as it would if you uploaded it during the day. Because most of your viewers, I assume, is probably US based.
Our viewers are cross between US and Europe mostly, and I chose noon for upload dates because YouTube has the funny little here's when your viewers watch, and then straight across the line was noon, and so I was like, fuck it, it's noon now.
It's the perfect. Yeah, I mean, no, that is like the perfect. See, again, that's falling back to understanding how people move. That is the middle ground between them going to sleep, us waking up, going to job, having lunch, them having dinner, watching their shows. List goes on.
Mhm.
It's just that perfect. Everyone's sitting down time.
Hmm.
Yeah, timing, and also what was one more thing I feel like I could that's a pretty fucking big one. Don't be a douchebag. If you're a dickhead, label heads speak. They talk to each other.
Mm.
Remember that. Producers and label heads speak. If you're an asshole in the industry and you're and you get like, yeah. And one more big tip, especially as someone who helps run the fucking Discord for future. Don't come in self-promoting your shit on in general chat within the first fucking 2 minutes of talking, or actually of joining the Discord. That is how you don't get accepted for a label. Is self-promoting your shit constantly. That is how you get. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You will not get picked if you're the type of person just only use the Discord to promote yourself. To the point we actually put a level system in to where like you need to chat with the fam a bit just to be able to unlock the self-promotion channel. We do
Mm.
have the tips and feedback channel where you can upload your private tracks so you could get feedback on those tracks and have like genuine input. But yeah, that even follows suit to having a rolling list, etc., etc.
Okay. Now, with some of these things, how did you learn them? May I ask yourself? Was the stuff you picked up over time?
Learn what?
All the tips you've given
Like the
now.
timing thing?
Yeah, the timing,
Oh,
social media management, stuff like
that's
that.
it's stuff I've kind of just learned over time. I am pretty autistic, so understanding an algorithm and like r- understanding a pattern is something I've been able to always do.
Hmm.
Especially when it comes to like games, this is why I fucking love speedrunning as well. I rank like 134 in Metroid Fusion in the world. Uh, uh, oh yeah, it's just been all a self-learning process. I mean, obviously, I like to ask questions. I like to ask people certain things like, "How'd you get here? Why do you do this? What made you want to do this? What were you doing before?" Shit like that.
Hmm.
Down to watching when people upload stuff, the hashtags that they use. Just understanding the base thing. We also got fucking Google as a friend. You can just Google most things too. Um, but honestly, yeah, it's just been a self-learning process of just understanding it. As any most, person who learns a trade, and a lot of it becomes self-taught after a while to the point you could do something in 2 minutes that takes the normal person 3 hours. I'm gonna still pay that person 3 hours worth of money for that 2 minutes because that's what their expertise led them to.
Hmm. Okay. And now I'm going to ask you this question: what's next for you, Concinnity Collective, and your projects?
Uh, there's been a bit going on lately. Right now, I actually been working a little too much. I work 48-hour weeks. I do 6:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. Friday to Monday. So my weekends are shot now. So I don't really get too much social time on VRChat when all like events are going on. Because by the time I get off work, it's 6:30 fucking a.m. Everyone's either dead asleep or the Japanese stuff is going on, and it's weekday. But I'm tired, so I want to go to sleep. So normally no one's up late at night over the week, which kind of sucks. Um, so kind of like I said, there's just been a lot more working while also slowly bringing the label back in, because there's some weird shit that happened at work. Again, it's been a lot more hiatus status lately because of just life shit, one thing after the other. Between losing, rest in peace, Opsic. Fucking love that being. I'm gonna forever miss him. My best friend Deuce Gambles. It's just the list goes on, and but I've been slowly mentally feeling better again and been making the push towards stuff. Right now, submissions are about to be reopening soon for Concinnity Collective. Um, very, very soon. Someone to get things re-rolling out there for, the upcoming months. I want to get more feedback streams going. The 3-day festival thing is also that's something that is also in the works. But like I said, I also just been saving a lot to move in with my partner. And that's gonna be a heck of a drive. Like I even just spent like $700 just on my car today between tires, oil change, and other shit. Uh, right now it's just been more of a push for Concinnity. Right now, I'm gonna give a little hints, not even hints, little teasers. Concinnity Collective and Electrostep Network are in process of creating a VR chat venue that's hopefully a little different than most, and because there's so many names that we got who want to do this for fun. You know, we got a bunch of serious fucking people that deserve to have fun. At the end of the day, any and all producers are nerd. You can't like we're all fucking nerds. We're all yeah, and they love this shit. And we wanted to bring them into here. Like we even got L Gates that would probably more than likely be wanting to play. Michael from Future Collective, maybe even East Ghost if I can fucking convince his beautiful face. Yeah, and yeah, hopefully that goes well. We actually even have some things in process where we're gonna be doing kind of like radio takeovers very soon, where we get artists from Concinnity Collective to do like an Electrostep Network radio takeover where we do questionnaires, like this, but well, they're also DJing kind of thing. Uh, yeah, like interview because they're going to be playing music from our, crossed, released albums and labels and whatnot. Because Concinnity Collective was even on a, what's the word I'm looking for? 110 song album. Well, not really album, but compilation. Because there's a fuck ton of artists. There's 15 different labels involved, and I was able to make the cover for that as well. Because that's another thing I do is make flyers and covers for these things, and it's always fun doing that shit. And yeah, right now that's been like some of the few goals. Get a venue going in VR chat, do some radio takeovers, get some more songs released with other labels, more feedback streams, and get Freedom of Expression Volume 2 rolling out soon. And hopefully we can start doing like solo releases here and there in between while everyone's waiting for another song to be released.
Wow, sounds like you're up to a lot. Congratulations and good luck.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been hell as well. It's been fun. I got the website for a good pay though, so I can't complain. I got ConcinityCollective.com for like $12 a year.
Sounds like a steal.
Right? I feel like a boomer using GoDaddy.com to get it, but when I saw that price, I was like, all right, cool.
So after everything you've shared with us so far, you've been through, done, and what you're involved with, did you expect this when you first started picking up picking up music way back when to the headset and now? Did you expect any of it?
Hell no. As I said earlier, expectations leads to full soap. I just been going with the flow. Music has been a part of my life for a very long time. Music has probably literally kept me alive and mentally sane, well, again, by myself for months on end. Music has, like I said, music has helped me meet so many people down between when I was homeless from 13 to 19 years old. And within those times, there's been like a lot of like beatbox like circles of someone rapping. It's just a bunch of different people. I start making hip hop beat. Everyone on the porch is like, beat like not beatboxing, rapping to it. We all got a blunt rotation going on. There's just been a lot of group scenarios that music has brought me into throughout the years in life. I did it because I wanted to do it, not because I saw it going somewhere, because I just saw me doing something with it in that moment, and that's what it was. And wherever it goes is where it goes. I do not choose where it goes, but I am going to keep trying to push to make it go somewhere at least, if it does keep going somewhere. Because obviously, as we all would like to, we all would like to fucking make it, but music is one of the hardest fucking industries to make it in. Which is why I also say don't be a dick. If you're a dick, people talk.
You you saying what you said earlier about when you talk to label heads, always assume you're talking to others. That's something I've heard someone else, who I guess on the show, mentioned before, which was Gaming Scoot. So when you're talking to dancers, always expect or always remember that you're talking to 5 other dancers or something like that.
Oh yeah, people talk. People do and will talk. I mean, I kind of do. Again, I was brought up very differently. Again, 13 and 19 on my own. I was brought up with. I'm not gonna use the words that I'm gonna say, but again, I was in a very rural area, and it was not a good area. Crime, etc., etc. And there is some things that go by. You know, say the conversation you had with one person was between that one person only. There's no one else involved, so it doesn't need to go to anyone else. Then there's also the thing of like, don't ear hustle. You know, if it's ear hustling is a thing where it's say you're overhearing a conversation to your side that you're not involved in. That's ear hustling. I try not to do that, even though it happens way too often in VR chat, because you know sometimes there is no voice fall off and everyone's voice is the same. And as a producer, I hear everything and I fucking hate it. But I don't know. Yeah, never really expected to do anything of what it was doing today. I've just been enjoying it all. It's been enjoying it all, and like I said, people will talk. I mean, like even within VR chat groups, you know, there's a blacklist for a reason, and club owners share that blacklist with other club owners, you know, to make sure there's no issues. I mean, there are even recent issues that happened. I'm not gonna say any names, but you know, even recent issues that happen. You know, if you read through the things that people put out there, there's multiple fucking conversations that people had, you know, collect the proper evidence to make sure it was actually correct. So again, when you talk to one person, you're talking to multiple people at once. Don't be a dick. That easy.
It is good advice
Have
even outside of
consideration.
VR chat too. Don't be a dick. Always act as
Yeah.
if you're talking with others.
Yeah, you never know who you'll meet again. You never know who you'll talk to. I've met some rich motherfuckers in my life, and I even realized who I was talking to. I even met some like historically popular people. Like how do I word this? I met this rabbi from upstate New York. He was alive during Woodstock, you know. He got to meet fucking presidents multiple times. He is a renowned rabbi. And I got to meet him. I didn't even know how famous he was of the rabbi culture. Like to the point he was the one feeding thousands of people and giving thousands of people water when Woodstock is happening and the traffic and people and crowds are backed up and no one could get in or out. And you know, the Hasidic community, you know, supplied what they needed. It was very interesting. He showed me like pictures of like him with like older presidents, or like I can't remember her name, but it was I think I can't remember what her name was. I don't remember, but I know I saw pictures of like him sitting with presidents, like 3 different U.S. presidents. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, Narshwhal, I'm going to ask the last couple of questions before we wrap things up. First of which, your name.
Okay.
Where did it come from, and why do you use it?
That's a 16-year-old lore. So I'll put myself on blast. So there's this video called Charlie the Unicorn
I remember that.
from years and years ago. There is a part that said the narwhals are coming. Charlie, the narwhals are coming. I heard Narshwhal, like Narshlaw. That was originally my name at one point. And I was like, that's an interesting name. And it was an interesting word that just stuck. I was like, I like that. And I just took it. You know, I Banksy'd it. I just fucking took it, made it mine. And after that, it kind of, you know, stuck with me for a little bit. Sadly, some people had the name used here and there. I was like, shit, it's already a used name at times. So, like, at times I would go by, like, on, like, PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3, I would go, like, Narshwhal D Law, because I would also, like, influence, One Piece.
Mm.
You know, I put like the D name in there and Law in there as well, so you get Narshwhal D Law, like Monkey D Luffy or all that. You know, anime moment. Um, you know, or it would slowly kind of it would change up throughout the years, but it would always go. Everyone always called me Narsh. That's what it always went by. To the point, like best friend, you know, my homie Jaquan, like, oh yeah, I know this person. And they would say my dead name, and they're like, you mean Narsh? Well, you mean this? And they're like, oh, you don't know them dead. If you don't know their nickname, it was to that point. Like, if you don't know the nickname, you don't know me. And that's what everyone called me. Like, literally, it just became part of me. And as time went on, I still couldn't really find the right way to put the name, so I kind of just went like by Twitch, because you know I became partner on Twitch for at one point with the streamer house and all that, and I went by official Narshwhal because I found the person who had the name Narshwhal on Twitch, but they didn't want to change it. I even offered them money because I found them on fucking Steam. I offered them money. I was like, "Can you change this? Like, you don't ever use it." And they still don't fucking use it. And they're like, "Nah, I want to keep the name." Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so I kind of basically like stuck with a name that wasn't complete. And then one day, a friend um made some random fan art because you know I always like did like the narwhal thing because Narshwhal, because everyone always saying narwhal swimming in the ocean shit. I've been hearing that song since it's came out. Fucking hate it. Um and yeah, they made me like they did like an art thingy with like me within a narwhal onesie. And I was like, shit. I was like, this might be it. And then I was like, I questioned around. You know, I asked a few people like, I'm contemplating on a rebrand going by Narshwhal because I hate rebranding multiple times because it does fuck up like trying to find songs or like old stuff of yours. Because Narshwhal was this name I went by on SoundCloud for years as well. But then eventually came the rebranding as to Narshwhal. And Narshwhal is the one that just stuck way stronger. But the thing is, everyone always fucks up spelling my name. Like, you know, if I ask you to spell narwhal, it's Narwhal. They always miss that H whenever they spell my name. They'll spell it Narshwal. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Every fucking it happens so many times. It hurts my soul. But yeah, that was then slowly, yeah, then it became Narshwhal, and then even came this asset that a really good friend made. Then this asset, this tail that who was a decent person ended up being a really actually shitty person. Yeah, that's how the name came to be.
Wow. And the avatar you're in, where'd it come from? Why do you use it? Is there anything about it that means anything to you?
I just like it. So
Okay.
like this, so I actually this is like Wolferia, the face and like the head is Wolferia from years ago. Because I saw the avatar, I was like, she's so adorable, and I love the avatar, and I just bought it, stuck with it, and I was like, I like this, and like kind of just stuck with it as a main avatar for since. And the body is different though. I did a body swap because we all know how booth avatars are. Once an avatar is no longer in rotation, kind of basically like thing, clothes are stop being made for them, etc., etc. So I had to do a body swap because there's barely any fucking clothes for Wolferia. And I don't know Blender that well to make clothes or to put on any clothes. And I don't feel like learning Blender to put on any clothes or, you know, learn clothes. I know Blender for what I need it for and what I do it for.
Okay. Well, Narshwhal, thank you very much for allowing us to hear your tale and learning all about you. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. So thank you.
Of course. Of course.
Cool.
Thank you for having me. It's been an interesting questionnaire. I do apologize for last time for being a little too out of it, even though I'm still kind of out of it.
It's all right. It's all right. No big deal at all. Things happen. Well,
Yeah.
and the audience, if they wish to find you, where would they find you or your label?
Is it alright if I put in one extra thing into this?
Go right ahead.
Because
Plug what
there's
you
a
want.
little teaser I would like to put in.
Go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate it. So first you can, you know, just Google the name Narshwhal. You'll find it. or you can just Google Concinnity. You can actually just go ConcinityCollective.com and brings you right to the SoundCloud. We got a Discord and everything. We even got, you know, a VR chat group, Concinnity Collective. Got probably will delete the Twitter very soon because fuck Elon. You know, we got a Blue Sky, we got a SoundCloud, we got a website, got a Discord, we got a Bandcamp that's slowly going to be having it, not even slowly, that is going to be having everything dropped and available on it for purchase very fucking soon. That's how you would find me. Now, one more thing I would like to tease and mention. A couple friends and I have been putting together our time of Blender, Substance, all this other stuff of making stuff, you know, items, prefabs, etc. And we are actually going to be starting our own store soon between Gumroad, Jinxie, and Booth for, you know, stuff that you can use on your avatar or stuff that you can use within your world. And the store will be called Two Live Creations. It is a collaboration between multiple 3D artists, including myself, to put forth good products that people like that are made from fucking scratch, like scratch.
Oh. Well, we'll be sure to put that in the description for people to find too.
Thank you. Well, we don't have the store just yet, but it is going to be announced. We're going to be doing a you know, repost giveaway kind of thing. You know, the 5 winners out of whoever reposts this will get this item, etc. And that's how we're gonna start it out. And give people free things. Because I think that's a good way to start. Give people free shit.
Oh, well, again, we'll be sure to put every link that you have or that you wish right down there. So go to the description, scroll down, or go to the episode description on Spotify. It's literally just click away. Just scroll down a bit or go to the episode descriptor. There's guest links right in there. Everything will be right there for you to find. One easy place. Oh, well, and this is the point where we close out. I would say have Raptor do the thing, but he went off to go help some family. That's why he went a bit quiet earlier in this episode anyway.
It happened.
It happens. So we'll give you the audience member, the question: what motivates you? What keeps you going with what you do? I'd like to know. It's a good question. I think a lot of people can derive some level of inspiration from themselves as well. And with the closing bit, we usually go something under the lines of inspirational, goofy. So I'll do a little bit of both. From now, we've heard two separate people mention a similar thing, which is when you interact with people, always expect that they're talking with others. You're talking with 5 other people. So don't be a dick. It's free. Being nice to people's free.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. It's absolutely free. And next time you see Narshwhal out there, whether real life or VR chat, sing the Narwhal song for Narsh there. I'm sure they'd love it. With that said,
this is why we can't have nice things.
See you out the Metaverse, folks.
I was an adventurer once till I took an arrow to the knee. Owie. It hurts so bad. Mom! Mom, I took an arrow to the knee! I was an adventurer! What happened, Mom? Damn, Mom's not home. Mom's not home! I forgot the key, and there's no mat to put it under. Maybe it's under here. Maybe she put it under melted the bitch in the fire. Well, that hurts. God, I'm a loner. Ventura is my situation when you take an arrow to the knee. But too bad it didn't hit me in between the toes. But it made me loopy, though. Are you a god? Oh, wow. I know. I'm not even at the right house. That's why.